If you've been paying attention to the Bridgerton universe, then you already know that Netflix may be quietly setting up its next big spin-off, and all signs point to Lady Danbury. Not a random side character, not a one-season experiment, but a full, richly layered Lady Danbury-centered series. And the reason this feels so likely isn't just fan wishful thinking. It's strategy, storytelling, data, and timing all lining up at once. Lady Danbury has always been one of the most powerful forces in Bridgerton. From the very first season, she's positioned as someone who sees everything, understands everyone, and pulls strings without ever needing credit. She's sharp, commanding, and emotionally complex in a way very few characters are allowed to be. Netflix doesn't usually invest that much narrative weight into a character unless they plan to do more with them later. And then Queen Charlotte happened, which, frankly, changed everything. Queen Charlotte didn't just expand the Bridgerton universe. It proved that spin-offs centered on supporting characters can outperform expectations. The series gave us our first real look at Lady Danbury's past, and it didn't feel like a throwaway backstory. It felt intentional, carefully written, open-ended. We saw her marriage, her survival, her emotional restraint, and the foundations of the woman she becomes. But we didn't see the full transformation. Netflix showed us just enough to make viewers want more, and that's rarely accidental. Since Queen Charlotte aired, searches for a Lady Danbury spin-off have surged. Fan discussions across YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter consistently rank her among the top characters people want to see explored next. And Netflix pays attention to that. The platform is driven by completion rates, rewatchability, and character engagement, and Lady Danbury scores high on all three. She's in nearly every major Bridgerton storyline, often serving as the connective tissue between families, generations, and power structures within the ton. That makes her ideal for a standalone series that still feeds back into the main franchise. From a storytelling perspective, a Lady Danbury spin-off almost writes itself. Her early life, her navigation of British high society as a black woman with limited protection, her private ambitions, her strategic alliances, and her emotional sacrifices all offer fertile ground for drama. Unlike the romantic leads of Bridgerton, her story wouldn't rely solely on courtship. It could explore power, survival, mentorship, influence, and long-term consequence, themes that Netflix has been leaning into more heavily with its prestige dramas. There's also the Shondaland factor. Shonda Rhimes has never been shy about expanding worlds when there's narrative value. She's repeatedly said the Bridgerton universe contains many untold stories, and when creators say that while simultaneously investing more screen time into a specific character, it's usually a signal. Jojo Ando herself has spoken about Lady Danbury with a depth and intimacy that suggests long-term exploration, not closure. Actors don't usually talk that way about characters who are winding down. From a business standpoint, a Lady Danbury spin-off makes even more sense. Netflix is aggressively focusing on franchise longevity. Bridgerton is one of its most valuable properties globally, and spin-offs extend subscriber interest without requiring an entirely new audience. A Danbury series would appeal to existing fans while also attracting viewers who prefer political drama and character-driven storytelling over pure romance. It broadens the brand without diluting it. There have also been quiet industry signals that fuel speculation, casting chatter, production registrations, and script rumors that align closely with Danbury's timeline and social circle. Nothing officially confirmed, but Netflix often operates this way, keeping projects under wraps until the timing is perfect. And timing matters. With Bridgerton seasons spaced far apart, spin-offs help maintain momentum and prevent audience drop-off. Of course, there are reasons Netflix might hesitate. Period dramas are expensive. Costumes, sets, and historical consultants add up quickly. And Netflix has a reputation for cancelling shows that don't perform immediately. But Bridgerton is not a risk property. It's a proven engine. And Netflix has shown that when something works at this scale, they're willing to invest heavily to keep it alive. When you step back and look at the full picture, the fan demand, the narrative setup, the creator interest, the Netflix strategy, and the deliberate way Lady Danbury has been positioned across multiple series, it becomes clear this isn't just a fun theory. A Lady Danbury spin-off fits too cleanly into Netflix's current playbook to ignore. Whether it's announced next year or quietly developed behind the scenes, the groundwork is already there. So the real question isn't whether a Lady Danbury spin-off makes sense. It's whether Netflix can afford not to make it. And if it does happen, it won't just expand Bridgerton, it could redefine it.